Some years ago, the wife of one of our students expressed a lot of faith in philosophy, especially in the closing days of her life. And she was a very dear friend of the fellowship. And even though she didn't go on with the lessons, she liked to tell everybody what it had done for her husband and for herself and what it could do for them too. She was just a really good friend, and we treasure her as we treasure all of you. Every year at Easter, we're all moved by Christ's great sacrifice for us, and we want to do our best to live up to his simple yet profound teachings. We feel inspired each time we turn our thoughts to the needs of others more than our own. And it's uplifting to connect with this great He, whether it's through our prayers, our acts of kindness, or even just quietly thinking about this mission of compassion and resolve. In the Lemurian Philosophy, we learn more about Christ's mission and its intent to prepare mankind for the coming kingdom of God, a new civilization that will be built on universal truth, goodness, and compassion for all people. He didn't say it would be automatically bestowed on us just because we happen to be around, that it would happen. We still have that same wish, don't we? I know I do. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. But what Christ did give us were steps we could take to begin creating this better world, not just to make our own lives better, but to serve other people. The steps he offered were very simple, through stories of parables, through his living example, and through vivid word pictures he drew so anyone could easily remember them. To paraphrase his words from the book of Matthew, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve. And in all Christ did, he embodied this humility as he moved among all the people that longed to be close to him and his truth. It's possible that a few of you feel doubtful about the possibility of a kingdom of God on earth, especially with all that's going on in the world today, and that's understandable. But many of you do, and you want to know what steps you can take now, so you can feel sure that what you're doing will bring good, and it matters. The bottom line, though, is that no matter what you do or how you see the future, it's encouraging to know that by being good people, what you're doing makes a difference. So, how do you think of the kingdom of God? Is it sort of the way people describe heaven as kind of a magical, colorful place, joyful, music, mystical? Or is it more like everyday life now? It's just quieter and more peaceful. You finally have a feeling that everything's okay, and you don't have to be worried or angry or afraid anymore. Patient, kind, and most of all, content. In the Lemurian teachings, we've learned that it will begin from how life is today, and gradually, step by step, it will change. In fact, the masters of the Lemurian Brotherhood have assured us it is beginning even now. When we try to envision what the kingdom of God will be like, we start from now. Then as we hold a picture in our mind of it slowly taking shape, it becomes more real. Every time we do something kind, something good, something that means sacrificing ourselves for the good of another person. You don't always know whose life will be affected by your efforts, whether it's your parents or your children or your family, or even strangers. Mother Teresa had a very inspiring thought about this. She said, "Let no one ever come to you without believing better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness." I want to share an example with you of how this can happen. I know a little boy who was in a car with his mom and his little brother, and they had to tap on the horn to alert this guard who was going to back into them. And unfortunately, this triggered road rage in this individual, and he really scared them very badly. He cut him off on the highway, and at one point, when they came to a stop, he got out of this car and started towards them. And the mom didn't know what to do, but she She held up her phone, so it looked like she was, videoing count. And he turned around and went back and then left them alone. It was very scary. But what's interesting is that night, as this little boy was getting ready for bed, he said to his mom that he would like to say a prayer for this man. Oh, wow. I mean, how many 7-year-olds making that leap of compassion would know Bronte takes care? Every time we let go of insisting on our way, it adds something tangible to this new kingdom. It's like a mason laying brick upon carefully selected brick to make a building that will be a haven for everyone. We also get to add more bricks to that amazing building. One brick goes up every time we go out of our way to be kind. Another brick goes up when we do more than is expected of us, because we want others to be happy, and not because we want special notice. Brick by brick, we build this kingdom of God. Lemurian students are actively working on building this kingdom, and we believe you too share with us this desire for a better world. So the question today is, whether you're a Lemurian student or not, how can we join forces and work together to bring this kingdom about? We thought to briefly explore a few ideas today for thoughtful consideration, and these are the kinds of things that Lemurian students try to do in their lives. As a start, I believe we can all agree that the greatest need in the world today is less selfishness. 100%. So every single time we do our best to turn from this and think about someone else, we add a little bit more reality to that greed. For those of you who are busy holding a job or taking care of a family and a home, or both, this goodness is low in all the things you do for them each day, and in sometimes the smallest little ways that mean a lot. But if you're one who has a few hours that are free in a week or a month, rather than falling into the easy route of TV and internet, what if some of that time is devoted to serving others? Not everyone could do this, nor are we suggesting it's no way to add to the kingdom of God. You know what you're able to manage. Some because of health problems, age, personal obligations. Know that the whole thing you're able to do is to give to charitable organizations like the Red Cross. But if you do have the time and energy, what if you took a brave step out of your comfort zone? Would your generosity encourage others? I'd like to remind you of the goodness within. Oh, I'm sorry. There are so many worthy options today for volunteering. Organizations like Scouts are those serving meals for the homeless. A particularly helpful service is being a voluntary literacy tutor. One of our members did that profile, and you could do it in your own home. Or maybe you are a friend who's sick or just had surgery, or a special needs neighbor that would appreciate that little warm meal of their yard grate or their dishes washed. Everybody wants the dishes washed. A lot of groups pick up trash or clean up beaches and hiking trails. Libraries look for someone to read to children to the visually impaired. Or maybe someplace just sees someone step in and do dishes work on a regular basis, like a senior center. What it boils down to is that there are so many ways to serve and to give of yourself, of your time and energy. If you worry that you might not be able to handle it, that would be too much. You might find it interesting that in the Lemurian philosophy, students are taught that the more they are at sending out to others and for the benefit of others, the more energy they actually generate. So you end up with more energy. It's a boost, and you actually feel recharged up. Christ helps us know that every time we unselfishly do something for another, we're doing it for him. Will we do our part to build the kingdom of God? We're not just dreaming about it, and hoping it will come about. Christ's teachings make it clear that it's up to us to sacrifice and to create this new world. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to even recognize it, much less enjoyed it. And what we mean by that is, when you think about all the good you had in your life every day now, how much of it do you unintentionally take for granted? And might those be some of the little beginnings of this new kingdom if you look for them and think about them. Each step we take opens up a door through which we can glimpse a little bit more of that new world that is taking form, even as we speak. There's another side to this idea of service that we also need to talk about. The masters of the Lemurian Brotherhood, or elder brothers as they prefer to call, teach balance as the key to the human accomplishment and happiness. So it means even our kindness to others needs to be in balance. Because we felt we all been in a situation where some well-meaning person wanted to step into a choice we made, but wants to help in a way that really isn't the help that they intended. We know they're sincere, and in fact, anyhow, take the heck out of things. We'll tell you another story that makes us smile. One of our students was in San Diego at a street corner, and there was a little old lady there. Most of them much older than me. He went to Jelpy take her arm to help her cross the street if she wanted this, and he turned around and said, "You never can get across the street into the blankety blank town." They thought, "Oh, okay." Was she grateful? Was she embarrassed? Was she aggravated? Who knows? The point is, sometimes what we see as kindness may not be perceived by the other in the same way. And much as we want to help, we still need to consider whether what we want to do is really a service in their eyes. We're not always going to get it right. That's okay. But if we take nothing more from Christ's time with us 2,000 years ago, and the love of others as we love ourselves, we'll have done a lot. Every one of you is needed, and every one of you is important in building this better world. You have a very real chance to make a difference in this life. It might not be noticed by a lot of people. You might not get a lot of praise. Maybe you'll feel your efforts are pretty insignificant, and might even get jealous when somebody else gets a lot of notice and you don't. But you could be sure that, as Christ said, if you have done it for the least of these, you have done it for me. So, we thank you very much for coming today and for the chance to gather a whole gratitude to God and to Christ and deliver it to them together. On the church. In parting, we'll leave you with these wise words from the Bible in the book of Thessalonians, chapter 2. May Christ himself and God our Father, who loved us and by his grace gave us eternal encouragement and good hope, encourage your hearts and strengthen you in every good deed, hour,